Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Slay to Success Talk Show. My name is Rochelle Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. Slay to Success is a business, y'all, where I am advising and empowering women professionals, especially women veterans, to step up into their most authentic personal brand to gain lucrative opportunities. We are focusing on appearance, behaviors, communication skills, and your digital presence because I understand and know that these are the things that close the opportunity gap. Okay. So thank you so much for being here tonight, y'all. And you know, the purpose of this talk show is where I bring in men and women who are living life on their own terms and using the slave philosophies to make a positive impact in this world. And I have such an amazing guest for y'all tonight that it's going to be absolutely great. So if you are here and you are coming in, please make sure that you put into the comments where you're streaming in from. Give us your name so that way you can get the proper shout out. Okay. So as you know, y'all, the Slay to Success Talk Show is all about the slay. All right. The slay is stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, and knowing you are built to last. Also, the word slay means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, and to dream big and work hard until you own it. The people that come on the show are absolutely slaying it. Okay. So I always want to bring in guests that are going to inspire us, to empower us, to give us some gems, to give us their story about how they came to be. So, welcome to the show, Chevy. How are you, Queen? How's everything for you tonight? I know you're probably getting ready for the week, okay? Because yes, football season is here. Yes, it's fall, but guess what? We got busy lives going on too. So, thank you so much for showing up for us live tonight. Appreciate you. So, y'all, tonight I just want to bring in my guest. Okay. Now, her name is Maria Camila Severich Buelvis. Now, she's going to tell me whether or not I pronounced all of her name right. Okay. But she is the CEO of Element, and she connects to verified artisans with buyers in the United States. She moved to the United States, y'all, in 2021. And after doing 2 years of customer discovery and understanding the audience and improving herself, she was able to bring her company from Colombia, which is her home country. And it originally started with just swimsuits. And now she has athletic wear as well, and soon she'll be launching her own home decor line, which highlights the talents of multiple artisans from Latin America. So, without further ado, I want to bring my guest to the stage. So, please welcome her to the building. Hey,
Hello, hello.
hello, Kamy. So, what is happening for you tonight? Now,
Well,
wait a minute, y'all. It
first
is
of all, you pronounce the name and you give it more elegance. So I
oh,
appreciate that. You killed
yeah.
it. I know it's very long. It's very long. I have two names and two last names. So, but I have to say both because my mom would never forgive me if I don't also use her last name. So yeah, it's a long name. But you guys can call me Maria, Kamy, however you want is fine.
Yeah, so you know what? I honor the names for sure. So I served in the military for a very long time, and we used to have, airmen that would come with three and four names. And, knowing the history behind the names and understanding it, you have to be able to say all the names. And so that's what I do. I honor all the family members. Okay, because that is part of your culture, and I totally respect that. Totally respect that.
Thank you.
So, you say it's 1 o'clock in the morning where you're at.
Yes, yes, I am right now. I'm in Rotterdam, in Netherlands. So yeah, it's 1 a.m. And I was just watching some. I like SBU a lot, Law and Order. So I was just watching my crime shows to stay awake. I'm like, okay, this is not gonna make me fall asleep,
No.
uh, because of the time zone. But I couldn't wait. I mean, I was very excited to have this moment with you, and I appreciate so much you having me here.
Oh my gosh, y'all, we're international. Okay, can we say international?
Oh yeah, of
You know,
course.
because you're in the Netherlands. So I'm just saying, like the way that we could do the virtual and we can connect to people from all over the world is absolutely amazing. Pandemic. I know there was a lot of things that happened through with the pandemic, but one of the good things is that we can now connect to beautiful
Oh,
people like you.
absolutely. I am so grateful for it. I love working and studying remote. I started doing it actually before COVID happened. So when it happened, it was hurt. It hurt me a little bit emotionally, like it did to everybody else. But I would say that I was prepared, and now I like it. I like working at the airport. I like working on the plane. I don't know. I think it's great. I can be in a cab and an Uber, whatever, and I always, as long as I have internet, I'm fine.
Right. I'm with you. If my phone can work, because
Oh
I
yeah,
got it right here, and my laptop is good, then I'm good. Right.
which
So,
could be a little bit addictive sometimes. So
oh, I
we
know.
have to be careful with that, because before, like if you were not in the office, you would say, "Well, I'm not in the office. You will have to wait until tomorrow because I can get that for you right now."
That's
But
right.
now it's like, well, I'm just gonna look at my email for a little bit, and then you just keep scrolling and scrolling, and then you just to put it out there, especially for those that are or want to be entrepreneurs. If you have access to internet and you get to work from your phone or your computer, you're gonna be working a lot. A
Yes.
lot.
Yes, you will. And I have so much on both of my devices that my husband always is like, he's warning me. Well, you only have so much data. You need to back up your stuff. So it's just like,
Yep.
okay. So, but that's what we do as entrepreneurs. So I want you to share with my audience your journey, kind of like your background, because you said you moved to the United States in 2021. So prior to that, like what was Cami doing? What was life
Sure.
about and all that?
So I was born and raised in a small city called Monteria. It's close to uh, another a little bit more famous city. The name is Cartagena. So it's in the coast of Colombia, South America. Born and raised there, and then I went to another city, Medellin. That one is a little bit more famous, to do my undergrad in business. Then I did a master's in human development, management of human development. So I worked in human resources, international businesses, and consulting for a while. Loved it, loved it. I was always an entrepreneur. Like since I was a kid, selling candies in my building, designing my own jewels, designing accessories, any kind of
Wow.
business that you can imagine. When I was a kid, writing papers, essays, everything for my classmates. I already graduated, so I'm good. But my professor should not know that. But yeah, I did everything. So when I graduated from my undergrad, even though I had a traditional 9 to 5 job, I knew I wanted to do something else. So my mom was actually the one that told me, "Why don't you have your own business?" I was like, "Okay, I've done it before." I had businesses with her. My mom is a businesswoman too. So it was normal for us to have business together. And she was like, "Okay, what do you want to do?" I had no idea. So she said, "Why do you have a clothing brand?" I'm like, "I went to school for business. I did not go to school for fashion." So she was like, "Well," and she showed me this scrapbook that she had saved, apparently, that I made when I was a kid, and I used to design swimsuits and wedding dresses. I don't know why. I just did it.
Ah,
And she had saved it. I didn't remember that. And she said, "Okay, okay, here you go. That's your inspiration." And that's it. And I was like, "Okay, but what else? Like, what should I do next?" And she's like, "Well, I don't know. I already gave you the inspiration. The rest is on you." She literally said that, and she left me there. I was like, "Wish you the best. I'll be praying for you." So I kept my job. I saved money, and then I found some partners, and I started a business. And then after a year, I transitioned into I didn't want to be with those partners anymore, with that kind of partnership that I had at the time. Not with them, but the kind of partnership, the type of business. And but I knew that I liked what I was doing. So at that point I already had a swimsuit brand and I was doing my own designs. I always liked designing clothes, fashion. I'm a very creative person. So I was like, okay, I've done it. I learned a lot from that experience. I learned the things that I should not do.
Mhm.
I improved myself, and then I started again in 2019. Always working full time for consulting or different kind of jobs while I was doing my masters, while I was doing my business, and then we were doing really good. 2019 was a great year, and the beginning of 2020 was amazing. We were selling a lot, but then COVID happened in March 2020.
Mhm.
Nobody was buying swimsuits, right? Like, no, people could care less about swimsuits. Like, that's not a basic need, so nobody
Nope.
cared.
Nope.
So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do now? I have all this inventory. I need to do something about this. But the one thing, and this is why I say the customer discovery is so important, because the one thing that people were actually doing was working out, because we were losing our minds. So we were, even those that never worked out before, they started, using the dog as an excuse to walk outside, do something, just be active. So I said, okay, my material, my fabrics are amazing. And I say that out loud because I work for that. So yes, I
Mhm.
will take the credit for that.
You're right.
Um, I came out with this capsule collection, a small collection. I said, okay, let's try. And that's how I came out with the athletic line. That one was sold out. It was really good. And then at the end of 2020, the end of 2020, even though it was a great idea, we sold out. It was to the point that people were still not ready to go back to swimsuits. And then this like fever to work out had slowed down. So in 2021, I used to come to the US a lot to visit my sister. And then because I was working remote the whole time for years, I was like, okay, let's just visit her. And I stayed. I started another master's, an MBA, Master in Business Administration, and took a pause from my business because I understood that the audience in Colombia was very different than the audience in the
Mm.
US, especially I'm located in the Midwest in St. Louis, Missouri. So the behavior of this community compared to the behavior that my consumers had in Latin America was completely different.
Yes.
So yeah, I took a time to do my research, to also focus on my master's. And I will be graduating in December, thank God. Um, I'm very excited. I'm counting the days for that.
Yeah, I'm sure you
And
are.
oh yeah, I'm absolutely desperate counting the day. No, it's been an amazing journey, challenging but amazing. I rediscovered myself a lot. So this last year, at the end of last year, I decided that I wanted to do it again, redo it, and
Mhm.
launch a new collection of swimsuits. And this year we've been doing good, really, really good. And now, because of the things that I've learned and how hard it was for me to find visibility, to find an audience, to find clients, to find people that believe in me, people that got to know me, things like that, that's why we decided to make Element, which is the brand of the company, the name of the company, sorry, a platform that not just works for me but for other artisans. So no more my designs, because in the past I designed the fabrics, the references, prints, everything.
Mhm.
No more me.
Mm.
But let's just connect those that have a lot of talent in Latin America, especially in Colombia right now, to people that appreciate that.
Yeah. Wow. You are absolutely amazing. I'll just say that
Oh,
right there, flat out. I mean, Y'all, so we've got our audience that came in here live, and so we've got Leslie George that joined us, and she's usually here every Sunday. So I am absolutely glad she's here. So welcome, Leslie, and Kayron is here. Good evening to you as well. Leslie said she loves the brag moment because when you were talking about your fabrics, you said that they were like quality, right? Like you were bragging on your fabrics. And I was like, yes, queen. And Chevy said, yes, be proud of the quality that you
Oh,
provide. Leslie says, congratulations to you. I also say congratulations to you. And the co-elevation in fashion, like, making, swimsuits and going to athletic wear, and now having artists from, Colombia to join in. So they have gifts and talents and products that they want to showcase. And so you're providing a platform for them to do that, and less of you. And they have the ability now to experience that. So I have a million and one questions, of course, all right, because I'm like, this is just gold right here. You have so many areas that you have been focusing your attention on. So one of the areas that I heard was uh, rediscovering yourself.
yes.
And you started and you stopped, and you had to really figure out like who you were. So kind of walk us through a little bit of that, because I know our audience would really appreciate that line of thought.
Yeah, sure. So I'm not gonna lie, it's been hard. It's been emotionally, financially, physically hard. Um, you start once all excited, you have all this hope and you see the light and you see and people are there. Most of the times your family, friends are there to cheer you up.
Mhm.
And then you try, things don't go as planned. And then you try it again and you still have people, blah blah blah, but the list starts decreasing. It's
Yeah.
not as exciting anymore. Depression the pressure starts increasing on the other hand. um the doubts, the being more cautious, being paying more attention to the details, but at the same time being like over protective with your ideas, with the steps that you take, the decisions that you make. It also like makes it also puts like a pause in your creativity, because then you're so anxious all the time, like, oh, should I do this, should I do that? And as an
Right.
entrepreneur, especially if you are the CEO, I have an amazing team. I have two co-founders that joined me later on my journey, and I appreciate them both. But it was a very lonely journey for a while, and most of the times it's like that. So when you have a 9 to 5 job,
Mhm.
you have your boss that tells you what to do and how things should be done, right? Or what
Right.
to expect. When you are your own boss, and I always say that because people are like, "Oh, so nice, you're your own boss." I'm like, "Yeah, and I don't like her. She's mean. She's annoying. She's intense. And she doesn't pay me well either." So it's part of that. It's part of rediscovering myself. It was not just as a business person. It's more understanding that I'm an entrepreneur no matter what I do. Being an entrepreneur is not something that you do; it's something that you are. So yeah, today
Mm.
I have this business and I love it. Element is my baby, is my project. Tomorrow I don't know. I've learned how to be like very very open minded. So you know I'm gonna do my best every single day, no matter what I do. I'm just gonna put I'm all in. I'm a very radical person, so I'm all in or nothing. There's no middle shades or grounds for me. That doesn't exist, which is bad sometimes.
Yeah.
It is, but you have to be passionate, you have to be disciplined, absolutely disciplined, because like I said, you don't have anybody that tells you, hey, I'm expecting this. No, it's you. It's your business is gonna make as much progress as you want it to make, and sometimes you work super hard and nothing happens, and that's
Yeah.
part of the journey too, and that's most of the time is like that.
Yeah.
And you feel guilty, and you're like, when people ask me, do you doubt? I'm like, every single day. I'm not lying. I'm not gonna say like, oh, I wake up and I'm all motivated. I'm not motivated anymore. This is not about motivation. This is about commitment and discipline. I'm like, I'm too deep. I gotta get going.
You're right.
But I also understood that my business is part. it's a representation of who I am as an entrepreneur, but it's
Mm,
not everything. It's not all me. I can be
right.
an entrepreneur, and if I volunteer for a foundation, I can be an entrepreneur in my own house. I can be, because it's about being resourceful. It's about being emotionally intelligent. It's about being disciplined, dedicated, passionate, and you can be all those things, even if you don't have your own business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just that. So I think the lesson, one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in the last 2 or 3 years, it was that I was thinking that element was my everything for
Mm,
so long that I got obsessed.
mm.
And then now I understand that element is just part of this life that I'm living right now. The
Yeah.
shape that my entrepreneurship comes in can be completely different
Yeah.
tomorrow. And I'm okay with that. I made my peace with that.
I love all the things that you shared with us because, yeah, rediscovering yourself is a journey and it's a process and it goes in ebbs and flows. And so sometimes you may feel at your best, and other days you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm like, why did I even start doing what I want to do? So I absolutely love it. There was so much wisdom on what you shared, and you said you're always going to be an entrepreneur. Like you're
Yeah.
always going to be an entrepreneur. You don't need element per se to represent you, Kamy. I mean, because you have that mindset of being an entrepreneur. And I think that so many of us who are in this journey of being an entrepreneur, we sometimes do get obsessed and we are radical. I'm like you, I'm all in. Like this is it, like dive all in, but it can come at a cost for some
Yeah,
things. You know what
it
I mean?
does. It does. And then you feel like you're a failure. And that's not true. Again, I say you are an entrepreneur because that's who you are, regardless what you're doing. Because I met so many women that are decided to be mothers and that decided to stay at home and watch their kids. And
Yeah.
I've seen them creating amazing, dynamics for their kids, creating, raising wonderful people for this society. And I find that very, very interesting. And I could not say that because this woman doesn't have a business on her own is not an entrepreneur. I think that if she is improving the way things are happening, if you are making things better, that's
Mm,
also part of being an entrepreneur.
mm. I
Innovating,
love that.
innovation is such a crucial part of that. Being able to redesign and reinvent who you are, what you do, provide, be the type of person that is always like trying to figure it out and solve and, fix things. That's part of that. So just because you don't have a brand right now, then you can't be an entrepreneur. No, there are people, I've met people that are venture capitalists, people that work in entrepreneurship through acquisition, which is amazing too. There are so many ways to be an entrepreneur that not necessarily mean having your own business.
Yeah. I love that perspective for sure. Because it is about creativity. It is about, innovation. It is about making things better and improving the environment or for where you're at. That in itself is an entrepreneurial skill. And the things that you have shared here with us is just absolutely incredible. Kayron says that rediscovery is quite the journey that never ends.
Yep.
And Leslie says, speak on being lonely as the CEO. Okay.
Yes.
Because nobody's holding your hand and sitting beside you and telling you to do all the things. And there's a lot of things that we don't share as CEOs because sometimes people don't get it, like they don't understand because they're not particularly walking in the same path as you. It's not to say that it's any bad or indifferent. They just
Don't
don't
know.
understand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then Kayron also said, yeah, my boss cracks with all the time. So when you're talking about, you're the boss being you,
Yep. It happens. It
it does
happens.
happen. And
Yeah.
the other piece that I also admire about what you've been sharing with us for so far is this element of leadership, like leading yourself understanding that it's you. So, what is your take, if you will? What are some lessons learned about being the leader that you have experienced?
Yeah, like I said, I have two co-founders, uh, and they are family members, which makes it very challenging,
Mm,
because you love them, you never want to fight with them, and I've been the person that has to say, I'm not talking to you as your sister, as your
mm,
wife. I'm talking to you as your CEO. And it sounds horrible. It sounds horrible. I don't feel good about it, but I have to do it.
mm,
They have learned. I've learned. They have also. I was very defensive about that. I was like, no, 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 no. This is how we do it, because I was doing it. I was doing it for so long by myself that you're afraid of changes. Everybody is. um but I've learned, and it just got to the point that one of them told me, I understand your point and you're right, but I'm also learning, and no matter what, we're family. So I cannot fully pretend that you're not my family. Like, that's just not going to happen. So I was like, okay,
right.
let's just set some rules, and in what spaces are we going to have these conversations. Let's figure out, like, what platform are we going to use so we can separate the spaces. But it is hard. It is very challenging, and that's why I don't recommend that lightly. It's not easy. You have to be sure about the relationship that you have, because even if they were your family before or not, your co-founders become your family. Like,
Hmm.
your co-founder is going to be your partner,
Yeah.
period. Sometimes you will see your co-founder more than your spouse, and if something goes bad, it feels like a divorce, and nobody likes to go through that. So you have
Yeah.
to be a really good leader. We had, actually, in summer, we had experience with an intern that worked for us. And I would say, at the end, when she finished her internship, I told her, she told me all the things that she was grateful for, all the things that she learned. And I told her, you don't understand how much I learned as your leader, because the communication, we both came from different cultural backgrounds, different countries, different languages. uh, it was a challenge. It's hard to delegate as a leader, as a solo founder. It's hard to delegate. So it was very hard for me to say, these are the things that you have to do, but
Hmm.
I'm not gonna micromanage. Of course I did. I'm
Of
pretty
course you
sure I
did.
drove her crazy. I'm pretty sure I was the most intense. I am a very intense person, so
Oh, yeah.
I knew, but I had to. And thank God my co-founders were like, no, you have to let her do that. You have to trust her. She's also learning. You were at that point at some moment in your life, but it is hard. It's your project. It's everything that you have. But I let it go, and I learned with that. And I think the biggest lesson as a leader was that and it is for me, is you take the victories and the hard times
Yeah.
with the same energy, with the same love, with no,
Mhm.
let's not point fingers. It doesn't, nothing good comes from that.
Yeah.
I think your team is a big reflection of who you are.
Mhm.
So if something is going wrong, I'm not saying you are fully responsible, but you should wonder what's going on. I've learned that my style of leadership is different than the one that my co-founders have. They are
Mhm.
aware of that. I'm more pragmatic. I'm more radical. Like I said, I'm intense. So I'm like, things have to get done this way now. Um, so yeah, I've learned how to celebrate the small victories, because they
Yes.
are not small. Those are the ones that build the big ones. So I've
Yes.
learned that because of my co-founder. And as a leader, I was very, very harsh on myself. Extreme. I was
Mm.
always serious. And I'm not like that in my life in general, just with my business. So I've learned how to be a leader that is capable of just laughing for, stupid things like, oh, we forgot to fill out the form.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. Let's just move on. And yeah, being able to embrace the hard times with the same love, with the same mercy, with the same compassion that you have when you receive the good times.
Yeah.
I think as a leader, we should take care of ourselves, and we should take care of our team a lot. They know me. They know that I'm intense, but they know also that I'm 24/7 available, so they can always rely on me and trust me.
Yeah.
I'm just that type of leader, and that's
Yeah.
okay. and that's
It's
okay.
okay. Yeah, and I appreciate you sharing and being very transparent on your leadership style because I am the same way. I'm a very intense type person as well. When I want things done, they need to get done. So I've had to learn how to use that energy because I had like a very hard energy for a very long time, and to counterbalance that with,
Yeah,
being carefree, being a little bit more, laughable, if you will, or a
yeah,
little bit
chill.
more, yeah, chilled
Yeah,
out because
it's
not everything is that serious, you know what I mean?
oh
And it's
yeah.
not a hard rule. So I appreciate you sharing that with everybody. And
Yeah, my co-founders are completely the opposite of me, like
yeah,
100% the opposite,
yeah,
which is great. It's amazing because I could not tolerate another me. So that is great. We balance each other really, really good, and I think that's something that as a leader you have to. Somebody told me once, you have to learn how to hire people and you have to learn how to fire people. Nobody
yeah,
likes to do that.
no,
And that's part of with my co-founders. Not I never invited them to join me if I thought that I was going to ever fire them,
yeah,
but I've learned how to have the uncomfortable conversations
yeah,
very, very often. And now it's
yeah,
just like part of the routine. We have uncomfortable conversations all the time, but
yeah.
we love and respect.
I That's such a beautiful thing because it's part of a relationship, a healthy relationship,
Yes,
to have, and I call it healthy dissent. Like you're battering back and forth, but you're doing it with goodwill and good intention, because you all know the goal and you're trying to achieve that same goal. So, Kay Ron wrote out uh, a comment here. She says it's a challenge to place your dream in the hands of someone who may not clearly see that dream. So vetting those you bring on your team is critically important to the success of the relationship. 100.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, they have to believe in your dream and you clearly, but also in like what you're doing. I remember my sister, who is amazing in sales, she told me after a while, she was like, I love I love this, but I don't know anything about fashion. I don't know anything about swimsuits. You're the CEO and also the designer, and you did this all by yourself. So I'm trying to sell your product, but I don't feel like part of the business because
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. But she admires me so much and she trusts me so much that she was like, I'm willing to learn. Can we please add some other things that I can also do? Can we add some
right.
other products and can we research other products that I can get involved so I can be part of this? And I had to say, yes, you are right. I know you want to help me, but you can't. You were not part of this. And that was another
Yeah.
reason why we decided to expand the business, because she was eager to help. But she just couldn't. She just didn't know
Yeah.
how.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When you incorporate, like, this is so metaphorically aligned with the documentary that I just watched about TLC. Left Eye, she was not a singer per se, right? But she was part of the group. So what they did was incorporate her to do rap songs, or rap lyrics, if you will, part of their songs. Um, and they found a way for her to express her individuality in the because they were a group, so in part of their experience. So I absolutely love that you found a way for her to be a part of, and that she said, "Hey, I don't feel like I
Yeah.
belong, really." you
I mean,
know?
imagine my husband trying to sell swimsuits for women.
Oh, yeah,
He was
like
like,
that.
I cannot. I'm. He's like, I'm weird trying to do this. I cannot. He's like, I'm gonna be behind scenes and I'm gonna help you with the website and I'm gonna help you with technical things. I'll be your logistic guy. But that's
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying is they trusted me. They
yes.
believed in me. They believe, and the most important thing that we talked from the beginning was, no matter what happens, if we don't do this ever again, we're not going to be like resentful about this.
Yeah,
What is done is done,
yeah.
and we move on, and
You gotta
that's
move
fine.
on.
We
Yeah,
gotta move on. So yeah,
yeah,
when you're vetting your co-founders or your team members, that's important. Like, hey, we are here and right now we're fine, but we not might be okay tomorrow. How do you feel
Yeah.
about that? How are you gonna
Right.
how are you gonna react?
Yeah, I absolutely love that. That is part of your culture of your business. You know what I mean? Is to talk that through. And Leslie even says that is amazing to have healthy conversations. I think that is absolutely so important. So you know, swimsuits is definitely a niche, of course. You know, selling swimsuits, and then you go into um, athletic wear, which is kind of like a niche in itself as well, right? So when you decided to go into these two spaces, because I look at swimsuits and athletic wear as being part of a wellness aspect,
Yes.
right? Because if I'm out in my swimsuit, then I'm probably like enjoying myself by the beach or at the pool or, lounging around at a resort or spa, if you will. And if I'm in my athletic gear, that means that I'm working out and taking care of me. So those two entities in itself, with the way that I see it, is part of wellness, if you will, like
Yes.
in a different way. So your the way that you moved out on these two product lines, if you will, was the foundation about the wellness? Like, what is your wellness? What is your view on wellness?
Yes. So the foundation, it was about, and it is, no matter, like I said, no matter what product we have, it's about the details. I think details are so important, so important in this lifetime that we are experiencing right now. The pace in our lives, especially in the US, is so fast,
Mm,
and then we wonder, why do we have anxiety? So the pace is so fast. And when I moved to the US, I realized that nothing, like, so many things were mass produced, and they just keep
mm,
making stuff, and keep buying and keep buying and keep consuming, but there's no meaning behind it. So I knew
mm,
my product was good. I knew my product was quality because I took time to develop fabrics that were eco-friendly, that were chlorine shield, that were UV protective, that are ergonomic, that are certified to be ergonomic, both for swimsuit and for athletic wear. I'm so particular with details. So that's why, like I said, when I moved to the US, I found myself kind of lost, trying to buy things that show my identity, try to buy things for my house that represented what I like, who I am. No, everything was like the same, more of the same and the same. And I was like, I'm so tired of this. So with Element, we are very careful with that. We want you to have something that makes you happy, that this is good quality. I'm paying a price that is worth it. I know I'm supporting a good community. We guarantee fair labor as well. So all those things, all those details, I think, to me, is a part of what wellness means. It's like all the details, that I am gonna buy this with an intention, not just to have one more item in my closet, because I don't like
mm,
fast fashion at all. So, for example, one of our most famous pieces is a one piece, yeah, like a bodysuit, that is reversible. So, like, one side has a print and the other side is a solid color. And we try to show images that where women are wearing it with, like, just going to the pool, or with fancy pants and a blazer, and nobody would know that you're wearing a swimsuit. That's the idea.
mm.
I want you to be able to play with what you have, to be creative, because my closet is like my therapy session. I
Oh,
love cleaning
yes.
my closet. I
Me
it's, I
too.
enjoy I enjoy it so much.
Mhm.
But I don't buy just for like the purpose of buying it. I do it because everything that I own has a meaning to me. So yeah, I wanted that. I was like, I want women to feel comfortable with what they're wearing. I want them to feel safe and protected with what they're wearing. I don't want them to feel like itchy. Even the tags that we have, we created our own tags that, you don't feel them. You don't have to cut them off. I used to do that. I usually
Yeah,
do that when I buy something. You
yeah.
don't have to do that. I want you to feel comfortable, to feel secure with what you're wearing. The colors won't fade away. So it is all about the details to me. And I
Mm,
think that in this society, sadly, we don't have enough time to think about that. We don't
no,
make the time to think about the details. We just, wake
that's it.
up, do it again, and let's do it. And but when do you have a time? When do you have a time during the day to say, "Hey, I did this for this reason. I thought about this, and this is why I did that." No,
Mm,
it just you just get involved, and that's it, and you just
yeah,
do it. So that's
yeah,
not what we are. And
yeah,
the next products that you guys will see are also a representation of that. A good community that is making them with love, family, business, family like artisans, families full of artisans that involve the entire family working on creating these pieces that are one of a kind. All of that is just traditions that I grew up with, and I don't want them to die.
yeah. I absolutely look, y'all. Look, the conversation is so good, okay? Because it's so good to know that your intentionality about your business is so laser focused on here is what I'm doing, here's the reasons why we're doing it, and this is what our customers are going to get. Like you've already figured that out and you're staying true to that, which I feel like a lot of times as entrepreneurs, sometimes we don't have that kind of nailed down. All right, we're just kind of all over the place, trying to figure out, what exactly does my customer, want. But Kayron said that is smart, showing the versatility of your products. Is so good when you can just have your wear to wear for this outfit, for that, and you don't have to even really, buy all these different things. So just to have, you know what I
Yes.
mean? And I've heard, so I heard fast fashion for the first time the other day in a conversation. I had not heard it before. Um,
Really?
no. And she's an image consultant as well, and we were just having this conversation. She said, "Yeah, this fast fashion out here." She was going on in. I was like, "Ooh, yeah." Like, so more and more people are wanting some longevity in their pieces, longevity in their attire, and the way that they show up. So I absolutely love that. So what is your mindset? Like you told me that you have like this intense nature, if you will. So where's this mindset for you to drive so hard? Where does that come from?
Hmm. Life. And I mean, I sound like, oh, this woman that has lived 7 lives. No, no, I'm still young. I'll stay young for a while.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, I think, and I'll say, I'll give that to my cultural background too. Latinos, I think by nature, we are a lot of things in one. We have a lot of emotions. We express everything the way we want to. We have no filters most of the time. So I'm sorry if I say something maybe not super appropriate, but just
No,
it
no,
comes
go
it
ahead,
comes with the
Queen.
package.
Yeah, come with
Um,
it.
it comes with it, yeah. So yeah, we have because of the circumstances of our upbringing, in the economy in our countries, we were maybe not directly or like intentionally forced to. I wouldn't say like that. It's just there. Used to keep trying, be resilient, be like resourceful so much. And just like we don't take no as an answer. And I personally don't. I see the word no, I split it in two letters, NO, and that translates to me to new opportunity. That's the way I read it. So yeah, I'm very intense. Like I said, I'm very
Yes.
intense. And if you tell me no now, it's like, well, maybe you meant to say maybe.
Yeah.
You were confused. So yeah, just being there, be not. I'm not. I'm gonna say not being afraid because I live with fear. I am a human, so I live with fear. But doing things even when you are afraid. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna wait until I'm not afraid to do something. I'm just gonna do it when I'm shaking inside. So yeah, being thoughtful, that's something that, especially in my mental health, and I like that you talk about wellness, because I'm very thoughtful. I'm a very thoughtful person, and I did not discover that about myself until like 2 years ago that people started saying it. And I appreciate that, because when you're very thoughtful as an entrepreneur and you're very dedicated, you can also get stuck most of the times, because you want everything to be perfect, and you want everything to have a purpose and a reason, and wonderful, and you want people to get it. And most of the time it's not like that. So combining my personality or my creativity with, hey, I have to be productive, and I have to be efficient, and I have to be disciplined, and I have to deliver, and you have to track yourself and show your metrics to yourself. It's it's hard. It is hard
Mm-hmm.
not caring about competition. And I'm not talking about other businesses, but other people, like not comparing yourself to other people's journey. It's a huge challenge, because we're humans. So we do it. We do see the neighbor, and we're like, geez, I wish I was there. I wish, why am I not there yet?
Yeah.
But it is the way it is. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So I think that my mindset has a lot of things going on. I'm an overthinker, but I I found in my life the things that are not negotiable, and that's
Yeah.
it. Period. And you
So
do.
what are those?
My two values, and I actually have I have a lot of things that are non negotiable, but I have, well, you don't see them, but here in this necklace, I have two words in Spanish and English that say faith and freedom. Those are like my core values. And when I say faith, I'm not talking about religion necessarily. It's more believing in something. You gotta believe it. You cannot be an entrepreneur if you don't believe in something.
Oh
find
yeah.
find yourself whatever you want, but please believe in something, because you need that faith, because a
Yes.
lot of things you cannot explain, so you need that faith.
Yes.
And freedom to be yourself without taking advantage of others. A freedom that comes with
Mm.
responsibility, not freedom to say, oh, I'm just going to do whatever I want. It's freedom of, I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to be authentic, but I'm not going to put myself over anybody else. So those are my two. So yeah, and I think that you should find your non negotiables. There are certain things in life that are just non negotiables, and
Yeah.
you get to choose them. And
Yeah.
it might work for your relationships, for your business, might not sometimes, but it works for you,
Yeah.
and it gives
I
you peace.
Yeah. So y'all see, she said her non-negotiables. You know how we do in here. We talk about these non-negotiables because they're so, I mean, you have to have something. You have to say
Yeah,
something that's, like grounded in stone, set in stone, a line in the sand, right? Like these are the things that are just not going to be messed with, or, somebody can come in here and just start filling out ways to destroy um the way that we like to move. And I like that you have faith and freedom as your two non-negotiables.
yeah,
And you can clearly articulate that.
yeah. Because then it comes to, sometimes, for example, and I've heard that the other day from a business owner. She's amazing, and she said that she had an opportunity from a company, from an investor, to invest in a company, but because she knows her non-negotiables so well, she
Mhm.
declined the opportunity. And it was, financially speaking, it was a very, very, very good opportunity. And she said, no, it doesn't work. I
Yeah,
appreciate it. I'm grateful for it. It's just right now it might work, but not in the long run. And I just don't do things that way. And
yeah,
there was, I'm going to be clear, there was nothing like illegal or anything bad about it. It was just a
right.
personal thing that she said, my business represents who I am,
Yeah,
and what you're offering does not match with those values. I can't take it. And she was afraid of saying no, clearly. And it's like, yeah, it sounded like a good opportunity. We could have used the money, but it's just not who we are.
yeah. And you know what? And again, I love that you're so grounded. She was grounded in it,
Yes.
that she knew that wasn't what she wanted to do. We do have several comments, here. So Latrice, hey, thank you for joining us live tonight. I hope you're doing well, Queen. And great. Kayron said fast fashion is disrespectful.
Yes.
Chevy says maybe you meant to say maybe when you said, the person said no, then you said, no means new opportunities. So she captured that for us. And tracking yourself and your metrics is so intense. Yes, it is. Her non-negotiables are loyalty and respect. Absolutely,
Yeah.
right?
Amazing.
And yeah, Chevy says that she loves that faith and freedom. I mean, those are the things that definitely will keep us in check. And I think that is important. Keep us honest, they are integrity of not only our business, but of ourselves. So yeah, our conversation has been great. I mean, I'm absolutely loving what you've been sharing with us. And so you're also a student. Okay.
Yes.
So, and it sounds like you are a lifelong student.
Yes, I know. I know. I'm such a nerd. I know.
Yeah.
I
So,
know, and I always promise myself. I've been promising myself that, not promising, but like telling myself that this is gonna be the last. I was like, no, this is the last. This is the last. This is the last thing that I'm learning. This is, but it's. I'm curious. I'm very curious. I love learning. I think you should always be learning. And I'm going to graduate school. There's a formatting for it, but even if you're not in that framework, please keep learning. It's just there are so many things out there. There are so many wonderful things that you can learn, and I get bored easy.
mhm.
So I also have to keep myself very very
Oh
entertained.
yeah.
Yeah, the ADHD is a thing, so I have to, and it helps me. I think the busier that I am, the more organized that I am. I'm a very structured person. I'm a planner. So, I'm like, the day has 24 hours. So sometimes I don't consider that I have to sleep at some point.
Oh,
But it's like, okay, I should count those hours. But if it has, let's say, 18, I don't know, 16, those are all hours that I can fully utilize. And yeah, studying is one of them. So I like that. I like going to school. It's been hard. It's been hard. Not gonna
yeah.
lie. It's been
Yeah.
hard, but yeah, it works different. The countries, the language is completely different. Is a very advanced program in a amazing university. So my classmates are Jesus or geniuses. So that's been a challenge too. Um, but hey, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I'll be joining something else. I know that. I know
I'm
myself.
the same way.
Yeah.
I am the same way. I just have to be involved with something, and it has to be some element of learning, like, and broadening my mindset, because I was served in the military for so long.
Oh well, you
And
you know about discipline. You
yeah,
know
oh,
it.
listen, discipline is not a thing for me. Like, I got that on lock. Like, if anybody needs help with that, they come to me, and I absolutely love the aspect of being disciplined. Anyone that's on the show right now, they know how I operate. I do the same things every single day. I have a routine, and I'm very consistent. And I think that's part of being that entrepreneurial
Oh,
spirit. You know what I
consistency,
mean?
100%,
So,
100%.
just showing up and getting the work done. And then, like you said, what I learned from you in this, short time that we had together, is to be a little bit more intentional, and not so much, beating up myself if I don't get this done today or this done, and really, like, having this sense of it's okay, it's okay not to have everything figured out, so.
Because you will never fully have it figured out. It's just
Mhm.
that's life. The
Yeah.
day that you do, you're not here anymore. So
Yeah.
it's it's hard. It is it's a weird feeling, and I like that you mentioned consistency because I feel like as an entrepreneur, you have to have that. Like I said, it's not about motivation. It's like the people that go to the gym every day. they don't do it because they feel motivated. No, that's not how it goes. It's they know that it's good, and it's just discipline. And I think a lot of people have initiative, but I'm gonna make, I'm not gonna make a word up that doesn't exist, but it's a lot of people have initiative, but not a lot of people have like initiative. Like they get to start a lot of things, but they don't get to
Mm,
finish. And I'm like I said,
mm.
this is just a made up word.
You said
Um,
initiative.
initiative. I don't
I look. I'm about to look, y'all. You know how I am with these words. Look, I'm about to write that one down for the books.
know.
Initiative. Okay, yes. Please, please go on with your point.
But yeah, and I think it's easy to say, hey, I have an idea. Like we all do. Nice, but like, okay, go get it. Like go wake up and do it every day. That that's another story. That's, and you need, like you said, consistency for that. A lot.
Oh, I know for me and the growth of where I was, about a year and a half ago, and I look back and I've just been doing some reflection. I have been showing up every single day consistently. Like no one can say that I have not. But at the same time, not only have I been able to get opportunities, but I have learned so much about myself that I would have never learned if I didn't stay on track. And so, I love that you introduce that word to us because it's true. A lot of us want to do things, but it takes action, right? It takes the follow through. You have to be able to do that over and over and over and over again, and sometimes, like you said, you see stuff and sometimes you don't,
Hmm.
but it's part of the journey. And Leslie commented, she said in her business, the respect part is not being part of creating a clique, but she's creating a community. I love
That's a
that.
difference. There's a big difference there.
There is a big difference. And Kayron says, as I always say to myself, stand for something or fall for anything.
Nice.
Non
I like that one. I'm gonna
Yeah,
steal
me
it. I'm gonna
too.
steal
Yeah.
it. I'll give you the credit. Don't
Non-negotiables are a
worry.
must. And Leslie says she loves that word for initiative. So I know that our audience has just been blessed by your presence tonight, and thank you so much because we are international, y'all. If you didn't already hear that at the beginning, she's in the Netherlands right now, and it's probably 2 o'clock in the morning right now.
Yes.
So it's going on 2 o'clock. I will not labor this any longer. I know that you'll have to get some sleep, and she said no worries, I got it from someone else, feel free to use it. That's what we do. Okay.
Oh my God.
All
I'm
right. So
so blessed. I'm so blessed for being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate the community that you have built. And I cannot wait to see what's next for you as well, because I can see, I can feel, even from this long distance, I can feel the vibe and the energy that you bring, this wonderful radiant smile that you have, that is just so contagious. So I really really appreciate it, and I wish you the best in this journey as well.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I do have one more question for you. If you
Yes, of course.
answer this for me, every guest on here shares, what you want your family and friends to say with you on your 80th birthday party. Like if you have a birthday party, 80, you get there.
80.
What do you
Oh,
want
when I
them?
turn 80.
Yeah. What do you want them to say?
Okay, what I wanted to, I want them to, I want them to say, I want them to say I that I that I never lied to them, and that I could they could
Mm,
always, they could always trust me.
mm,
I want them to, I want them to remember that from me, that I'm not a good, they know that I'm not a good texter. I don't, no, I'm not good at it. But they know that if they call me, I can be anybody's emergency contact, because I'll always be there. So yeah, I want them to feel like I fought for them, that I protected them, because I'm furious with my family and for my friends. I am. That's the Latina on me. So
mm.
I do want them to feel like I always took care of them and protected them.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're very much, we have the same type of energy. So, were you born in August? I'm just taking
No,
a
June. I'm Gemini.
Oh, you're
June. Yeah.
Gemini. Well, I mean, that's kind of like, yeah, I could see that too. But, um, you know, there's so many different people that we have on the show. You're my 43rd guest. I've been keeping track,
Oh,
and
sorry. And I also want them to say that I did what I wanted.
you did what you wanted.
Yes. That I did
Mm.
whatever the beep I wanted to do. Period. That's it. I wanted to know like this girl did what she wanted to do.
You know what? Again, I can't wait for the day that we actually meet in person, because that will happen one day.
Oh yeah,
Never know when.
absolutely.
I'll put my arms around your neck and hug you so tight, because I was just like, that is just what I say a lot of times. I'm just gonna do what I want to do. And
Please.
guess what? K. Ron said, period. Okay.
Said it.
Oh my gosh. I love the energy. And I love that you came here for us. And so I just wanted to get these last comments. Leslie says she loves that you are the protector. Okay. So get it right, y'all. And Latricia says, congratulations on being international. Great conversation, ladies, from Chevy and Leslie as well. So ladies, thank you so much for being here live with us tonight. And just it's just amazing how many of these guests that I'm able to find to really share and be a part of Slay to Success. And so thank you so much, Kamy. And we will see you on the NASDAQ.
Of course.
Milestone makers, whenever that, kind of
Oh my
gets
goodness.
back
Yeah.
up and running, whatever that is, what's happening with that, y'all, it's a
Gotta
long
do my
story.
homework.
Yeah, exactly. So we are in a cohort, and we're not trying, we are improving
Yes.
our businesses. And so I will see you on the next call. And as I always say, y'all, keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. Thank you so much for being here on the Slay to Success Talk Show with us. And we will see you all. Oh, where can we find Kamy? Look, they want to
Oh.
know where you at, Kamy.
Oh.
Okay.
That's so.
Okay. So
Should I put it on the
yeah,
chat?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So.
Thank you, ladies, for keeping me honest up in here. Because yes, we need to know what she's doing and where she's at. Beautiful website. I wanted to
Oh.
share that with you too.
So how can I?
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
that's the Instagram.
okay. Yeah,
For
I
those
got to
that
copy it.
have
I'll copy and
link,
paste in here.
for those that have LinkedIn, I use LinkedIn more than Instagram.
Okay,
So
so here's Instagram, y'all. So if you want to go ahead and connect with her there, or you can connect to her on LinkedIn. And you know how I feel about LinkedIn, y'all. That's the place to be. Okay,
yes,
so let's see here. And then this is her name, where you can look her up on for LinkedIn. Just type it in, and you will see her beautiful photo that she has. It's like outside. It's really nice. And
it was in a building actually. It was in a
it looks like
building.
it was outside. Yeah.
It was in a building, but I liked it. I'm not very photogenic, so I appreciate that one a lot.
Oh, really? Oh
I
my
just
goodness,
feel
that's beautiful.
awkward, like when people say like, let me take a picture of you. I just feel, I don't know. I feel like I smile with, I don't. I look good in like the candid pictures, but the ones that are like pose, I kind of look tense. So I appreciate that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. You look good, Queen.
Thank
You
you.
look good.
Thank you
Okay. Well,
so much.
you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. So best wishes to you, and I will see you very soon.
See you soon. Good
Bye,
night. Bye bye.
Queen. Good night.